Okay, so the costume plus void gear are mostly done for the most part. I'm actually kind of happy of how the paint job turned out for it. My friend Marley actually made the resin gems for the eyes. I painted those up to put the black eye slit on them, and it actually turned out pretty good. For the most part, the gradation between the gray and the silver worked out really well. I'm not too really happy about this line work, just because I didn't have a thin brush on me, and it's a little bit rickety, but from a distance it looks pretty decent. And then the black chains that are going to be crossing the cross section here and here are in my garage and drying. I ended up just getting like more of this type of chain and spray painting it black. The keychain gears are made out of Sculpey, and there are some more gold link sections in the chain work, but I'm not going to be able to get those done just for sake of time, and I don't want to do all that work because it'd be a Sculpey piece, chain link, Sculpey piece, chain link, Sculpey piece, and these links that I use aren't exactly the strongest things in the world on their own, so I'm rather just going to go with the chain and then maybe cover, like just have the Sculpey pieces, like do a two-part glue together and glue those onto the chain in a later time. The wig is done for the most part. I ended up not taking as much off of the sideburns as I wanted to, and the bangs I'm just letting them fall where they lie, just because when I actually put it on it looks a bit more natural, all things considered. And then this is the helmet. I really love how it's turning out. This front piece that stops up to about here is a motorcycle spare visor that I found on eBay. It was $4.99, but they only shipped to the US. And I'm making the jaw piece out of matting board. There is a tutorial online for making helmets by a guy by the name of Featherweight. It's the same design that I used for, let me put this down because it's a bit heavy, for the toothless helmet. It's basically a base of cardboard that you measure the circumference around your head and start by making the round piece and then two cross sections and then laying down the individual triangles to make up the circumference of your head. And from there you literally just start building down to fill up the rest. And for that, all I did was attach the framework, and then my sister actually helped me with the top bondo, which is a tube-based fiberglass process. And she's actually, her major is in body shop work, so she helped me do that because she did an awesome job just rounding that off. Then like the two-part gradation, it is a little bit see-through, but when I'm going to be wearing the helmet, I'm not going to be wearing the wig, obviously, because those spikes could not fit in there. So when I'm wearing the helmet, I'm going to have the hood up, and you won't be able to see any of my face. So, yep, that's basically the plan. Right now, I need to I was deciding either on just the Crayola Model Magic and or the Sculpey for doing the detailing. In the game it is a little bit ridged, so what I'm going to do is build this up and not gradate it, but make it ridged on the bottom and the top pieces, and try to make it as flush as possible just so it pops a little bit more from an actual camera angle, and paint it up. And then Crayola Model Magic, let me get a packet of it. It can come in a it can come in a various sizes amount of packets. I love this stuff because you literally just shape it, and it is an air dry foam clay. Here's what it looks like when it's out of the bag. It's flexible as long as you keep it in like a seal type container, like a bag or Tupperware, it will stay in the putty form, and when it dries, it is a solid piece. The only thing that you can run into with problems is it does porous out a little bit, so when I'm painting it, I'm going to have to do a couple of coats to make it an even layer. The reason I'm using the Crayola Model Magic versus the Sculpey at this point on the helmet itself is because unlike air dry clay, it doesn't crack. But unlike the Sculpey, where Sculpey will stay in like a hard solidified state when you bake it, like on the keychain piece, Crayola Model Magic dries quicker because Sculpey will harden itself if you do not bake it. I haven't tried anything like sun baking it, but Sculpey requires that you put it in an oven at a temperature of, I think it's 275 for 12 minutes. And if I were to line the helmet with that and stick this in the helmet, it would either catch on fire and melt. So I'm gonna stay with the air dry.